Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and we're going to be going ahead and speaking of Yuta again. And after everything that's passed, I'm sure it's going to be quite a strange affair that's going to be going on here soon. Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papa was my friend. I should have been there with him. See it in his eyes, Yuta. He knew what he was doing, what he had to be done. Master Lusoi wore that same look right before the end. You think I don't know that? I know all right. I know. There's nothing more that you could be done. Ilberd caught us off guard. Even Nara was powerless to stop him. You must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you'll never forget what Papa strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Leave Yuta with me. Go on, go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. Alright, I guess we have to head back to the Rising Stones. Okay, there we go. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thankar is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I'll send word to Stola and the others of our imminent return. Go ahead and head back to the Rising Stones now. Wow, that's taking quite a load. It's always more Dona that seems to do this, or Dania as well, I believe. I think it's because it's two very popular spots to be at. Twould seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye, behind the Griffin's mask we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not how, but he had possession of the eyes of Nidhogg, which dread power he used to initiate his summoning ritual, even as we looked on. By the 12. Don't understand, to attempt such a magic requires every ounce as one's either. No one, not even grandfather, could cast and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort. I'm certain Papa was aware. Thus did the pupil fall in the footsteps of his master, even onto the grave. I have yet to be able to explain how Ilbert came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the seas and clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind, aspected ether rages, no mortal could endure such conditions. And mayhap it was the work of an Asian, but now is not the time for idle speculation. Kral, I'll need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal tract within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we may glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it, then. What, without so much as by your leave? Pray forgive Archon you stole her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. Desire to comfort you doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with the grievous loss in my own way. By thy leave, Lydia Sally. I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of the cocoon of light. Yep, I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Puplo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilbert's accursed creation without delay. What time we have purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. We get another orchestra music thing. Go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Got that one. Another one must be somewhere here. Ah, there it is. I'm apparently going to have to, like, do something with some of this stuff, because I have too much stuff at the moment. I have a lot of stuff from the Alliance raids and dungeons I did recently, but I don't know if there's anything I really particularly want out of this. Maybe I could use this, I don't know. Pretty sure that had something to do with the, where was it? I'm looking around for it, I can't remember. Sense of Time, maybe, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, another one, okay. And Narn, I wish to add more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it'll be before... A communication from the Alliance, one moment. Yes, of course, our representatives will be present. My thanks. We're from Grandania. The Council will shortly reconvene. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. We wish to discuss the Primal, of course. As you saw his last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Caesar doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I'm told that Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to proceedings. Wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones to Tara's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place. It is within the realm of Eorzea.
You You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, it would perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Well, that was an odd sort of fellow there. I think they may have been, maybe they're from Doma, because they seem a lot like our ninja friends. Yeah, okay, we need to go back to Brindania. Basically load it into a screen just to load back into another screen. Pretty sure it's the farthest one. That puts us right next to it, if I remember correctly. Alright, let's see how this goes.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Yes, sir. A Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon. Of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanow since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer. The mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seed Seer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
Tough choice.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. It would seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartano and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Alrighty, well apparently Nero's back in the story here ever since we last saw him in the Crystal Tower. That was a rather unexpected development, and one that raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. Soon the others are assembling at the airship landing. Celia is already on her way, and it would not be to lag too far behind. Let us be off. So we have to go to New Grindonia, I assume. We get the little marker now, so we can just follow it from here. Little demon brick. Must be down below, I assume. Where's it off this way? I don't remember. No, it must be down below, I guess. Now an Alpha ready to go, the others have stepped onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him, despite his very timely offer of assistance. The thought of the man poking about in the workings of your ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alpha. Your sister is adamant that he would never leave her side. She and Yuguri are... well, there they are now. I think that's everyone. Shall we set a course for Cartnew? Aye, may I ask that we delay our departure slightly, require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying Cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought we had time against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright, well, Alphanod speaks of the colleagues. I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona. We can reconvene at the Rising Stones. My apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Ystol and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I'm able. Darn, point a company of Silly back to the Rising Stones. I shall feel safer knowing you're present to again entertain our guest. Right, everyone heading to Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. A lot of people gaining level 19, apparently. You're trying to Master Garland, miss. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Yeah, let's go ahead and go. Yeah, we made it. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I wouldn't exactly land her in the Toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? Let's go ahead and get on our mount here. Oh yeah, I can't fly. I keep on forgetting that now. It's been a while since we've gone through the entrance proper. Probably not since we did the Crystal Tower, I think, actually. Oh, we got here a little too fast, it looks like. Literally nothing in here. There goes a chocobo. Pretty sure the player's just invisible there, but it's kind of funny. I mean, there's plenty of stuff outside, it looks like. Just nothing in here yet. Okay, now they're starting to do a beer. Okay, there we go. I don't know what to make of this guy so far.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Apalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good God, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, he spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gozetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? You, Giri? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
An angry Doman man joins the team. Alright, wait, can I speak with you for a moment? Remember when I had you meet at Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a travel outfit in this spare time. I only just left this moment finishing the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left here. You can try it on right now if you like. Assuming you measure correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So how does it feel? Not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light, it's... well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. Also suit in pure, blood-pure charm to, you know, bring you home. May it always protect you. Well, that's neat. Gave us a new outfit. Wonder if I have the... well, I have a new thing here, actually, now that I look at it. Intervention. What is that? Let's see. I don't know, I'll have to look at it later, I guess. But let me see here. I think I want to say maybe I have the, do I still have the unglamorous? I don't remember. the Sign Adventure jacket. There we go. I'm not sure if I have anything from that. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. Alright, let's go ahead and start this back up. Got another quest going on here, let's see. Got a couple orchestration roles going on. So we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Yuta, you are sure that's... I'm sure, yes, I won't lie. I'm completely fine, but I feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well, I'll remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphanod, mayhap you return to Grandani and assist Yustola and Creo. Fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartanu Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Nara and Yuta and our domain friends take care of our security. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town, and we'll leave as soon as everyone's ready. I can't take that monocle seriously, though. Like, it's the only thing about the costume I don't like. I don't know what else would fit it better, though, to be honest. Probably maybe like the... I always like that crown thing that I got with the Paladin set, but, I don't know. It looks like we have, looks like Squall over here. Somebody's wearing the Squall costume. I do have the Gunbreaker skin from, getting the collector's edition of Shadowbringers, I believe. Where am I going here? Let's see. Apparently off that way, okay. I had to kind of stop in the middle of things last time I was playing, so I don't remember exactly what we're doing here. I think we're going after Omega at this point, I believe. Yeah, here we go. We had landed here, so... We have far to go, if any luck. We'll be in Cartanu before Gutstu graces the deck of his dinner. Once there, however, we best be on our guard. Given that Ella Royale was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure the Empire is long aware of its existence. If Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by the new Primal, it's not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells you we're flying into a fight. Yep, here comes the level sync. I believe Cartnew is the PvP grounds, I think, or at least one of them. Because I remember them explaining it was a place where all the companies like did skirmishes at.
Now, where was that? Ah. I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
All the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
It looks like he's joining in the fight. All right.
It's all over now.
No retreat. No surrender.
Okay, this isn't too hard so far.
It will sting. I hope you.
Is my right to strike?
You watching, Pavalino?
Your defense is nothing.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
Yeah, it looks like something's happening. Surrender, we have you outnumbered. That's not what that battle is looking like. Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. What the? No one told me they have Magitech armor. Forward for the Empire. Arliss Kerr thinks to ban his men. I shall see that he shares his fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Okay, let's see how this thing works. Been a long time actually since we've gotten to ride into one of these. It's kind of in the middle of the screen, so it's not to...
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
No holding back! An opening.
With soul and steel!
It's all over now. Your defense is lacking.
Ooh.
Is my right to strike?
You watching, Papalimo? Leave this to me.
Another one down.
Have you?
This one'll sting. No retreat. No surrender.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
No holding back.
Some nice damage.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
And down.
It's all over now. Your defense is lacking.
It is my right to strike!
You watching, Cavallero?
Got out of the way of that one at least.
Leave this to me.
And down.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing? What do I think? All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose. Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered the malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalymo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Alright, well, I'm surprised the wall's still standing after basically a nuclear explosion upon it. But let's see what's going on now. Not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. One moment everything was functioning perfectly and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves and soon. Words can ill express how glad I am to see all of you unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have yet to see it. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Yuta, wait. We must first... The Elder Caesar is expecting us. We're not off and on. Kitsutsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yagiri. Council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. Okay, I believe this is the last quest of the, patches here before we get to Stormblood. There is one more thing we're gonna have to do after this, but we're very close to Stormblood, guys. Yeah, we're pretty far away off where we need to be. We need to be over towards the very one on the west. A lot of people here today, apparently. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that whole battle to take place. I don't know if that meant Omega wasn't as strong as Ultima, or perhaps the new Primal is just exceptionally strong to be able to take on something that's specifically designed to take on Primals. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. If you indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly we thank you for seeing it done. You're too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we are good as demanded the right to try. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. But words could do justice to such a scene. None of my choosing, that much is certain. But to give you the facts, the cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its mist rose a giant dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Gir Abana. Primals might defy to belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the voice of its blows, and it wielded such magic as I have never seen, and I hope never to see again. Not a rage, not of no end in sight, till both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionlessly from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on El Amigan soil. I'll not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that they each had landed a fatal blow upon each other. Well, most among us would only think of Bahamut when looking upon the primal swarm. The domains were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It appeared that the being resembles a creature from Far Eastern legend, and it would be found convenient to refer to as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have at last no ideas on the Garabania sign of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Toperin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we had the perfect opportunity to secure Grindonia's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. That explains a few things. I wager that flashlight could see to if our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engage Omega's stasis system, so even if it has fallen to the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them. Say perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core function if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic spec is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the resistance representatives of Garabania. Though Ober has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of the Imperial retaliation. By working in concert, it is not impossible that Alimigo may finally be wrested from Galamad's grasp. Must be exhausted. I would only suggest the retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Isto and the others have gathered at Ezra's Spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested in seeing what's become of the wall now the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. Trying to remember where that spire would be, actually. Let me see. Apparently close to the Hawthorne Hut. Okay. There's some sort of fate going on over here, apparently. Oh, this is the spire, okay. Overlooking the wall.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbird's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we? The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time. Ida, there is no need to explain. But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. She was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon. She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started? You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida. Of course. We all recognized you at once.
'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Yeah, that's probably the right choice.
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise.
Lise?
When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker. We leave for the east, for Doma.
Sounds like we're heading to Alamigo and Doma for the expansion, perhaps. It's rays of lies to remove her mask after so long. Though she had scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's moss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we'll be there to support her on the road she has resolved to walk. Let's return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell Tataru, my sister. He may have mentioned, but often has surprised me if all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is the rest. This is the calm before the storm. Ice has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the gateway to Gridania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the flight of those who may conceivably save is not wisdom but insolence. Correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire. As our respect to you. Quick march, the Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face their retribution. It's almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. Learn to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alimigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Elbert. I'll take our homeland back. For the both of us. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Balsal's wall has fallen to the Erzorian Reliance. Land for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Shall we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Give me, my lord. 8 out of 10. Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. The far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to the eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. Alright. What would this be, actually? Pretty sure that begins the Stormblood expansion, but as I was saying before, there's still one more set of things we need to do. Which is the stuff for the Alliance Wades for Heaven's Ward. So we're going to go ahead and work on that in the next video. So I will see you guys then. We're almost to Stormblood, guys.